Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Sechuayo, a.k.a. Coach Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE show. Cousin TRACEY. First, real quick, before we hop on into episode 46, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to do stuff like this at the end, but you see the merch, you know what I'm saying? Just want to give a shout out to one of my former Pennsauken High School basketball players, my man Steve, you know what I'm saying? Owner, operator of the print shop over there. It's right next, it's connected to, you know where the R Barbershop is? On Martin Pike.
Yep.
It's right there. I mean,
Thanks, Steve.
You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, Steve. Good luck. Definitely got some more merch about to pop out. It's almost t-shirt season and all of that type of stuff. So be on the watch for that. And thanks again, Steve. Good luck. Today we want to get into, I know a topic that's going to be dear to my cousin's heart. You know what I'm saying? And we just kind of want to take this time a little bit just to talk about the status of women's athletic programs, the inequality between female programs and male programs, and that's on any level, starting from our youth sports to high school to collegiate, and even on the professional level. It's a disparity that doesn't seem to be catching up. You know what I'm saying?
Right, we had talked about this topic before, but right now it's resurfaced because of the Brittany situation. And so we just figured we would revisit it and then touch on a few issues and just reiterate, you know, things, again, our thoughts, our opinions, and how we feel about the situations. So
Definitely. So, I mean, just getting right into the Brittany case, for those that might not know, you know what I'm saying? She is a basketball player.
Brittany Griner, she plays for the Phoenix, oh my goodness, why?
Mercury,
Mercury.
yeah, I just real blank too.
Phoenix Mercury.
Right.
She's a 6'9" female. She went to Baylor University. She's a stellar basketball player. But on the off season, WNBA plays from May to September, I believe. May to September. During the off season, which would be like now, she, her and a few other WNBA players feel the need to play overseas. She was returning back to Russia, and at the airport in Moscow or near Moscow, doing the luggage check, she was caught with cartridges of CBD oil. And if you don't know what that is, for our parents that are watching us, these cartridges goes in those vape pens, and it has CBD oil, which is cannabis, which is cannabis, and it's utilized to get high. It's a narcotic. She was caught with the cartridges in her bag, and illegally, it's illegal everywhere, but she was arrested. And we all know that right now, Russia is at war with Ukraine. It's a weird time. It's a weird time throughout the world. And now we have this American athlete over Russia incarcerated, and there's been not a lot of media coverage, no contact with her. I think they said since like March 13th, and they saying that she may be released April 15th.
Actually, May. Now,
May.
They moved
It's
it.
May. Okay, moved it again.
They moved it like May 19th.
Yeah.
Yep, because she had appealed, and that was denied. So now they're saying hopefully May 19th. And they're trying to say, you know, allegedly, like she's being investigated for like a larger, like she's some type of involved in this transportation of drugs coming in and things like that. You know, they'd like to throw things on us, you know what I mean?
I've also been kind of reading up on the story, and now they're saying that also too in Russia, they don't like or they frown upon people of the LGBTQ community.
I think I heard
and
that
now
too, yeah.
They're fearful that, number one, during this time of war, she may not be getting the proper treatment while being incarcerated because she's an open, she's open sexually as a gay female, a lesbian female, lesbian female. I think they may even use the word queer as it pertains to her. She's open with that, and then now we have the whole war situation. So they're just saying that
like a high
political hostage type situation, high profile situation.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, let's get right into it. One of the reasons she's caught in this situation is because, you know, you brought up the numbers, the salary that they get
right.
in the WNBA.
Versus the NBA.
To live, they got to go play. I mean, especially if they have the talent like she does. I know when we were talking about this and I was looking into it a little bit, the club that she actually plays for in Russia, I couldn't remember what season it was, but they actually like paid what's her name, Diana Taurasi.
Yeah.
They gave her like $1.5 million for one season.
Yeah.
So you take that compared to
right.
what you're getting in the WNBA.
The WNBA,
you know what I'm saying? I gotta go play overseas.
The WNBA max salary is like top numbers is like $600,000 per season. That's for your top players. Mm-hmm. So that's top.
Right.
That's all they're gonna get.
Right.
And I'm familiar with someone who played in the first league that they had before the WNBA.
Okay.
And I'm very familiar with it. We had the monetary conversation, and she stated that she got the most of her money from her Nike endorsement because her actual salary wasn't a lot.
Right, right.
You know, granted their season isn't that long, but these are professional athletes. These are women who have taken the time out of their lives. Some of them, their whole life, all they've ever done was sports.
Right.
They work out, they train, they eat properly. They do what they're supposed to do because they are considered professional athletes, but they don't get the treatment as such. They still are considered, it's still considered women's sports.
Right.
And women's sports in America is not as attractive as a male sport. Sports are still considered for men.
Right.
No matter how you look at it, people look at sports as being for men. If you have a young lady, if you have a woman that who's talented in any sport, she gets earmarked as possibly not being a straight woman, and she gets earmarked for not being feminine.
Right.
Somewhere in this country, it has been deemed that if you're a female athlete, you're not feminine. So there's a lot of things going on. We're not considered feminine when we're athletes, right? But we can't get the pay of a man because we're not men.
That's crazy, right?
Right. So it's like,
that's crazy.
What are we doing?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then they're saying that if they try to raise the salaries in the WNBA, the owners feel the owners and the overseers, which are from the NBA, feel like that cost is going to go back on to the consumers.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Meaning the ticket prices got to go up.
Right.
Merch prices got to go up.
Right.
So they feel like because there's not a big following,
Right.
if that happens, they're going to lose the following that they have.
Gotcha.
So is the glass half empty?
Right.
Or is the glass half full?
Gotcha.
So here we have a situation where the impasse, because now there's a female athlete, an American professional female athlete, in order to live a luxurious lifestyle on my off season, I have to go to Russia, China, Italy, Spain. You know, I have to go Dominican Republic. Like I have to go to these different places to seek extra income. So I can live a lifestyle of a professional athlete.
Right. Yeah, that got to be tough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that situation. I mean, me personally, I think they should be, not that they should be making more, because definitely they should be making more, but I think it's definitely a way that, because the WNBA is tied into the NBA, right? And I know they're making billions of buku of money, so, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's some way. I mean, I know they do a lot now, but I'm sure it's some way that they could, you know, and it has increased over the years a little bit.
It has increased over the years. It definitely has increased over the years. I was looking at some numbers, and like I said, they said the max salary per year is $600,000. Where you got a rookie that could come into the NBA, and his max salary could be $925,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same year's experience. Probably put in the same time, and nothing for nothing. This may be my biased opinion. I know some chicks that can beat some of the rookies. I know some chicks. I know some chicks that's in the WNBA.
I believe it.
That can beat some of them younger male athletes.
could believe it. Now let's just ask this. I mean, you see, we had some coaches trying to break into the NBA. I know we had some coaches on. I think didn't Popovich have somebody on his staff out there in San Antonio,
yeah,
female
so,
coach
yeah.
or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it will be long gone by then. Do you think that would ever happen to see a female play in the NBA?
Now, I don't think a female would ever play in the
Right,
NBA. I wouldn't want a female to play in the NBA
right.
only because men are men.
Right.
You guys hit harder.
Yeah, sure.
Y'all foul harder.
That's just, yeah.
Y'all push harder.
Right, that's facts.
Listen, at one point when I still was balling, I was the only female playing in a law enforcement league. You make a couple jumpers in a joker face.
Right, yeah.
The next time you come down there, they pushing.
Yeah.
Oh, she thinks she a dude. I'ma treat her like a dude. You know what I'm saying? So y'all hit different, and y'all sweat different. And contrary to popular belief, we're feminine. We don't like all that all up, cause you ever see y'all men, stuff be flying. Listen, we sweat, but we sweat different.
What you say? Cause we just get our pay rate in our league closer.
In our league closer, and we'll be okay.
We'll be all right.
Let our top athletes cap off at $4 million a year.
Got
you know what I'm saying? For their safety. Right. If they can make the type of money, like you said, they paid her $1.5 million, right?
For the season. That was just one season.
And that was one season. So if she could have got that at home,
right.
Lord knows she probably wouldn't have went over there.
Exactly.
If I could feel appreciated at home, I'm not going nowhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I also read that for a lot of the athletes who are open about their sexuality, they go to other countries and can live in their truth. America, they feel like they got to be this image.
Right, gotcha.
So when they go to them other countries, they just over there rocking out. They living their life, they rocking out. So we can establish at home the respect that's due to them, because let's think about it. They put in the same amount of time working out.
Yeah.
They do the same type of training.
Yes, they do. And
they do it with less. Somebody last year when they were at the Dome.
Oh yeah, that bubble. That was
bubble.
Last NCAA tournament. Matter of fact, it was a couple pictures coming out, but I know one of I believe she was on the Stanford staff, one of the assistants, and she put out the picture, and it was like the guys' weight room was all this stuff, everything that a regular weight room and training room would have, and the girls had like a rack of dumbbells, some exercise mats, and maybe like a stationary bike. And we're talking about 2021. We're not talking about, and we're going to talk about Title IX. We're not talking about 1972 when it first started. We're talking about 2021.
The disparity is still the same.
The disparity is crazy. Like, and they're not even trying to hide it. Like, it wasn't even hidden. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can see the guys' situation. You know what I'm saying?
The guys' situation was state of the art.
State of the art.
And the girls.
It looked like going to Planet Fitness or something. I mean, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? That disparity. And let's just roll right into it, because, I mean, reading up on Title IX, and of course we was around when Title IX first came into play in 72.
I was barely.
You know what I'm saying?
It was Nixon. It was 72.
I'll talk about, but you benefited from it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So, we were.
We're going to talk about that benefit from it. We're going to talk about that too.
All right. But the whole Title IX situation was supposed to, I thought,
balance it out.
Right. And
so the Title IX.
Not so we don't have situations like we just had in March of last year during this time.
So Title IX, to be brief about it, because I don't know it verbatim, but it basically says that Little League, high school, college, anywhere, any institution that gets federal funding for sports, you have to have female sports and male sports. Equal opportunity if you're receiving federal funding.
Yep.
If you're receiving any kind of federal funding for any programming, it has to have girls programming has to equal out to boys programming.
Yep.
So that sort of, let's say, if you have a male swim team at your school, you're supposed to have a female swim team. If you have a male's jousting, what's that called? Fencing team, you're supposed to have a female. So it's supposed to be
and the programs are supposed to look equal, like equal funding almost. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be like the men's program has state-of-the-art equipment and the female program is barely getting equipment. You know
so since we talked about benefiting from that, we're going to talk about the benefit from that. So, and the lack of benefit. Because it's funny because you'll have schools now, the boys may have a winning program and they get X, Y, and Z. And the girls may not have a winning program and they get the scraps that's left over from the boys program because they feel like there's no sense of putting a bunch of money because they're not winning. Right? But that ain't how the funding goes. You get the money regardless.
It's not equal opportunity.
Right. You're getting the money regardless and the money should be split the same. But you will find places where they order certain things for the boys and the girls don't get the same. And Title IX also states that girls' sports are supposed to get the laundry list of benefits, meaning college. They're supposed to get the housing, the tutoring, the meal plan, the stipends, all the anything that the boys get, females are supposed to get too. So it's supposed to be equal and balanced. But I say that to say it's supposed to be on every level. And going back to what I said about the stigma of female athletes, because there's such a hard stigma in America and society about female athletes, you don't get a lot of girls that want to participate in sports. So it's hard to get a lot of girls to come out. Thus being, it's hard to get a real stellar program. Then it's hard to get the equality.
Yeah, because how can, and we just talk about high school, how can the girls' high school team be close to as good as this stellar boys program when the girls' feeder system is non-existent? You know what I'm saying?
The feeder system is non-existent, and then for females, it becomes image when I'm 14. When I'm 14 and I'm starting to become a young woman, now I got people looking at me, and it's an image for me. And I want to fit this stereotype of what a young lady looks like that society has deemed what's beautiful. Right. Instead of us just walking in our own truth. And you know, it's as a parent, a grandmom of a preteen who happens to be athletic, it's hard. It's hard to try to get them to stay focused on sports when you have adults making comments about an 11-year-old's personality because she can beat your son. It ain't my fault. Boys bloom late. Because boys do bloom late.
Yeah, I mean, that's facts. That's facts.
So it ain't, whose fault is it that your son isn't the fastest or strongest right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? But that doesn't make this young lady less of a young lady.
Yeah, no, true. And before we continue, it just popped into my head. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. Before we continue with talking about Title IX, when we talk about the top-notch WNBA players having to go overseas to live a certain way, or just, you know, put food on the table for their family, take care of their family and everything, but the male superstars, you know, have to go overseas. Like when we talk about male basketball, the guys that go overseas are the guys that are trying to make it to the NBA. Fell a little short, so now we go overseas to continue to, you know, I'm a professional basketball player, work on my skills. Hopefully, I can get into
come back and go.
It should be the same type of way with the WNBA. It should be those that maybe fell short a little bit of the WNBA. You go overseas, get your game together, get paid while you're doing it, and hopefully maybe you can crack into the WNBA.
Instead of
reverse. Our stars they gotta go. It ain't like
they gotta go to keep the stardom. To keep the stardom. Here's my thing. All right, so here's my thing. Let's talk about what we see, persona, right? Image, because how society judges people is on what you see. It ain't about what you know, or it's what you see and what you hear. More of what you see. So I'm assume a person got money because a person is doing this, that, and the third. Right? So, in America, we've created this professional athlete persona. The name brand clothes, the gear, the jewelry, all of that. Even with our females. If they not rocking Gucci or they not rocking Christian Dior, you feel like they ain't got
Right,
nothing.
right.
If they don't got on a Fendi sweater or whatever, they don't got nothing.
Right.
So they got to keep up with this image, because this is the systematic image that society has portrayed upon our professional athletes and celebrities, right? But if I'm only making $600,000 a year,
that ain't going but so far.
and my Gucci sweater's costing, and I can't wear the same one because somebody gonna say they seen me in it because of social media, right? So what recourse do I have? Oh yeah, and by the way, don't forget, my mom and pops spent a lot of money since I was 7, 8 years old into this point.
Yep.
I feel like, dang, at least can buy dad a car, a truck. How about maybe a house?
Right.
600,000 ain't gonna get you all of that.
Nah. So here I come, Russia.
Here I come, China.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm on my way. I'm on my way, Barcelona.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be right there in a minute.
I'll be here in a minute. Now back to this Title IX, because you had to see it firsthand. What was that? Where'd you go? Iowa State?
Iowa State.
Okay. Going back, let's go back, hop in our time machine, go back. What did that look like? The women's program as compared to the men's program, the short time you was there?
Whew. So, the boys, I don't know if he watches, but I'm going to just shout out my homeboy from ISU, David Washington, good friend of mine. He balled at Iowa State, finished his career at University of Toledo. I go in his dorm room. He got sneakers to jogging, training sneakers, and like 3 pair of basketball sneakers. We got sneakers to jogging and 2 pair of basketball sneakers.
Gotcha.
They got like 10 pair of socks. We got like about 3.
Gotcha.
Like, it just was crazy because I went in his room. I'm like, yo. He was like, y'all ain't get these? First of all, I may not be on the team much longer because I got this bad shoulder. So I definitely ain't get those. But more importantly, bruh, come up off some of this gear.
Right.
You don't need all of it. Go back in the office and tell them you need some more. So I go back to the girls. Like, we used to have this like Friday night. We used to play cards and stuff. And it'd be like girls on the softball team, girls on the track program, basketball girls. You know, so we all together busting it up because we like a crew. All the girl athletes, you know who you are. Because you eat together, you had a room that you training table, you was at the facility working out, so you know who's who. We busting it up. I was like, yo, man, the boys they was like, man, the vets that had been there, man, that's how it is. Boys always get the extra stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Boys always get the extra stuff. So but that was 33 years ago. But my point is, I don't even know if it's still like that.
Right.
But looking at that picture from the bubble,
that's not what Title. Right, exactly. That's Title IX is. You know what I'm saying?
Title IX is supposed to be equal. Right. But looking at the bubble last year,
and that's 2021.
It's looking like it's still about the same.
It's still about the same.
And the boys' basketball team had a suite for the football games. We just had tickets. So, you know, we used to go in the suite with the boys.
Right.
But we was down, we had a little section, but it was where you had to wear your coat.
And the only reason, like a little chilly out there.
It was in Iowa. Very chilly.
Yeah, true, very chilly stuff. And the only reason the NCAA came back and upgraded the women's weight room situation, training facility type situation there in the bubble, is because of the backlash. Because all the pictures you know how social media is. All the pictures started hitting the grams and the Twitters and all that. So now the NCAA had to backtrack and like, oh, yeah, that was, you know,
but that's the only time
that happened, so let's.
But that's the only time we right our wrongs.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They did that because they got caught.
Right.
They didn't get caught. That's what it would have been. You know what I'm saying? That's what it would have been, and it definitely.
But I'm glad to see, like, Dawn making that money coaching.
Yeah, yes she is.
Coaching salaries is definitely going up.
They are definitely going
for
up.
females.
They are definitely going up.
They
That's
deserve
definitely
that
a great
because
thing.
I don't think they work any less
Right.
than the
Oh,
men
it's-
coaches.
yeah.
They probably work harder.
You know what I'm saying? You got to put in the same work.
If
I
not
believe,
more.
Doesn't she have a documentary coming out? Or is it out? Or something about Title IX is either coming out or just came out. Like one of them 30 for 30s.
Yeah, I think,
don't know if it's
and
out
I know
yet.
she does like a podcast or something. She was
does
talking
do a
about it on a
podcast.
podcast.
She does do a
so
podcast,
interviewing
you know
people
what I'm
about
saying?
that. You know what's so crazy? So I'm a Brandon Marshall fan, and he has a podcast called I'm Athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And now Ocho Cinco is like his co-host with some other ex-NFL
Right. I've
players.
seen a couple episodes.
So he had Lisa Leslie on there 2 weeks ago, I think it was, 2 or 3 weeks ago. She said, not confirmed, but kind of like word was, for all the WNBA players not to make a big deal out of Brittany's case because they don't want it to become noticeable and she become like a prisoner of war type thing.
Gotcha.
They was telling them, like, y'all don't go on this whole hashtag free
Right,
Britney
right,
or the
right,
whole social
right,
media.
right.
Don't do it.
Right. Gotcha.
Don't say much till it's all sorted out.
Right. Okay.
Is that fair?
I mean, I don't.
I kinda get
I
what
was-
they-
I mean, I don't know. I would need more info, like maybe why. Like, would it, like, if we start in America blowing this thing up, would Russia feel some type of way and then like try
Hold
to
her,
extra
yeah.
more prosecution on her
Yeah.
just because, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all going on this whole campaign, free Britney, da. You know, Russia's Putin, whatever.
Right. And I think that's.
we don't
I
do too
get
many
it.
politics here, but
Right.
you know that situation in
Right.
Russia's different.
I get it.
You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
what they're saying because we want to kind of let it play itself out
Right.
quietly so it can play itself out quickly.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But if she my homegirl,
Right. That's what I'm
I
saying.
feel
it's like like yeah, you know
like,
what I mean?
that's my
Right.
that's
Right,
my,
it's my
like
girl.
my dog.
Like, we need her out
yo,
of there. Like, what we
free
doing?
Britney.
Yeah, we need her out of there. Yeah, so
Like what y'all like what we doing?
yeah, nah.
We ain't got no ambassador. We don't got nobody that's over there.
Right.
I know they at war, but what we
Right.
doing?
What we got to do with that? You know what I'm saying?
But like I said, my thing
yeah.
is for me, especially if you're a teammate of hers,
Right.
you kind of probably feel like,
Yeah,
I need
right.
to- I wanna say something.
Right. Nah, that's true.
you know what I mean?
That's true. That definitely got to be in a tough spot. Title IX, successful in your opinion? I mean, in my opinion, I think it was definitely necessary. Just, hearing some of the stories from
Shit, us getting the right to vote in '65 was
well,
necessary.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I think Title IX was definitely necessary to try to even the playing field. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like anything, it just still
It doesn't.
needs
It
work.
still has work.
It's got-
It
right.
still needs work.
It just needs work.
Has work. So we're looking at a 50-year
Right.
law
It still needs work.
that needs to probably be revamped.
Right.
Some people need to be held accountable.
Right.
Some of these universities need to, because some of these universities getting a lot of major money.
That we know.
So I just think it's about accountability.
Right.
Was it successful? Again, I'm gonna use the term: is the glass half
Right,
empty? Is the
right,
glass half full?
right.
Because if you look at it from certain glasses, yes, it was successful. Because now we have women being able to play on a larger platform. We have the WNBA. I remember in 8th, 9th grade when I first picked up the basketball, your only aspiration was going overseas. Your only aspiration was if I get to college, if I get through college, right?
right.
If I get through college. If this ball leads me to college and I get through college, right? My only option if I want to continue is overseas.
Right.
And then came the ABA, I think it was,
Was it
CBA.
ABA? CBA? Wasn't, we'll get it.
Yeah, I think it was CBA and ABA.
That was the league before the WNBA.
The league before the
right.
WNBA. That came out, and that put a little push where, these women
got
are really
something here.
balling.
Right.
We got something here.
Right.
Then the WNBA, popped up.
Yeah.
And to me, it's an amazing thing because now it gives young ladies that play basketball
Right.
aspirations
Something,
and
yeah.
desires.
They can see
something
it.
They can see it,
See it,
here.
yeah. Right.
They can
Right.
see it here.
Right.
Now,
Right.
if you want to be a multimillionaire in 1 year doing it, absolutely not.
Right.
But it still gives you perks.
Right.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
perks in
Oh,
it.
yeah, true.
It's still perks in being a pro athlete.
True.
You understand what I'm saying?
True,
And that's just like with any other sport. So was Title IX successful in that aspect? Absolutely, because now it gives our young ladies an aspiration for professional soccer, professional softball.
Yeah, because we usually talk about basketball, but a whole lot
professional
of different,
basketball.
and all that
So
type
now we have
stuff, and
professional sports on every level for our young ladies. Professional here in America.
And think about it, it gave women a chance to play some things in college that sports that probably weren't there before Title IX. You know what I'm saying? Because like you were saying, you're going to have a ice hockey team for the guys.
Now they got girls ice hockey.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Now they have girls ice hockey.
Before it's like, I'm not getting
we
no
not
girls
doing
hockey
that,
team.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
in that retrospect, when you look at Title IX, it was absolutely successful.
Right.
But then when you look at the things that there's still inequalities and the disparity
and that's the
of
big
treatment,
thing. That's the big thing.
The inequality in pay.
That's the big thing.
There's still things that we work on.
Right.
But let's talk about it in a broader scale. Although we do talk about sports here, across the system in itself, women are lower paid.
That's a good point.
Women are lower paid. It's been proven that women can hold the same title as a man on a job, and they'll get almost $10,000 less than a man. So across the board, the equality in pay is still not where it should be. So now if we bring it back to sports, we definitely are going to have some inequalities because in America, sports is still deemed a man's thing.
Right. Right. That's a good point. That is across the board, even outside of the sports world.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. That is an issue. You're right. Well, cuz before we get out of here, you know what I'm saying, first, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the feedback that we get. Please believe we pay attention to it. We listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So please don't hesitate to reach out. I said I was tired of talking about it. But, you know, since we have this platform, it's only right. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure everybody knows by now what happened at the Oscars, the slap that was heard or seen around the world. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to dwell on it a lot, but I just want to know your opinion, and then I'll give mine. Was Will right? Was it necessary? Did he have to go that far? Should that have been his reaction with the joke that Chris Rock said?
First, I will say this. The Birdcage at no point condones violence.
Oh, no, none at all. None at all.
We do not condone violence.
None at all.
Let's be clear about that.
None at all.
But I've said numerous times, and I will say it again, the black woman is the most unprotected species in the world. We come across as aggressive because we always have to stand on our own. We don't have a lot of protection. We don't have a lot of people out there supporting us and making things right for us. We're just getting the act passed so y'all can stop messing with our hair. So what does this black man do? He pick a soft target. And those that know, soft targets is a police or military term. Those are things that you know you can attack and get away with.
Gotcha.
Like a church, like a school. Those are considered soft targets in a war. So I said soft target because he picked a black woman because that was his homeboy's wife. And I'm going to get this joke off and we're going to let it slide because we look like each other.
Right.
And he understands, Will should understand where I'm coming from with this because I got to do these jokes, right?
Right.
But it was a bald-headed Caucasian woman sitting next to her. Spread that energy over there because G.I. Jane was Caucasian. So you could have spread that energy that way. But he chose the lesser of two evils. He know he cracks on a bald-headed sister. We supposed to accept it and understand. Kiki, smile and grin and get over it, right?
Right.
Now, Will was out of line because systematically they expect us to act like that or react like that. So he gave them what they was looking for.
Right.
Did they think he was going to do it? Absolutely not.
Right.
Do I think he was justified? Absolutely, because let me tell you why. Childhood trauma, any trauma that's never dealt with comes across as anger, aggression, and it gets physical. That's what trauma looks like. In our community, we don't readily deal with trauma. We don't give children and families treatment for trauma. This man has been the butt of everyone's joke. I'm not even going to talk about the August stuff. I'm talking about since he did the sex scene years ago when he was on his knees.
Right.
He's always been the butt of everybody's joke. And he giggled and laughed, and the boy is hurting. How often do you see a man, a black man, get in front of a camera and cry? Every time a camera goes in this man's face for the last 36 months, he done broke out in tears. He's broken. What he needs to do is take a step back from celebrity, being a celebrity, his career, focus on his mental health, focus on the mental health in its entirety of his family, and he needs to really heal. Yeah, he wrote a book. I didn't even open up the book yet to read it, but I heard he talks about things in that book. Just because you talk about it, just because you see a therapist, don't mean you're healing.
Gotcha.
This man cries each and every time. And we know in our culture and community, for a man, a black man to cry, for the world to see.
For the world to see.
Yo, you weak.
Yeah.
When it's not, that's not even the case.
Right.
He's broken.
Right.
He's a broken man. And the broken man, the broken child, the trauma-filled child reacted to Chris Rock's joke. Because when he seen the hurt in his wife's eyes, I think he initially laughed because that's what he is supposed to do.
Right.
Put the fake laugh on. And that's, everybody say he laughed at first. If you look at the laugh, it was a fake.
Right.
But then when he looked over and seen the hurt in his wife's eyes, once again, the child felt like, here's another woman in my life I'm not protecting.
Right, gotcha.
So if you unpeel the layers, it's layers to this mess, and it's just so unfortunate that Chris Rock got the blunt of this man's explosion, but this explosion was bound to happen. It just happened at the wrong time on the stage for the world to see. The bottom line is, in my opinion, was it necessary? Yes. Should it have happened at the Oscars? No. Because all you people, and I'm going to say you people, need to stop taking your aggression and your energy out on black women. And I think the smack that was heard around the world may be what prompted Lee Daniels to apologize to Monique.
Yeah, that happened. That did happen.
You understand what I'm saying? Because we understand now the damage we are causing our sisters.
Gotcha.
We still got to justify why my hair look like this today, and next week I may come on here with no hair.
Right.
We still got to answer for that.
Right. And
now we got to deal with being the butt of y'all jokes.
I feel you.
That's my take on it. My take on it is this. Will Smith is very broken. Should we understand what he did? I think if you know anything about dealing with trauma and mental health, you'll understand why he did it. Was it appropriate? Absolutely not. Should it have been handled different? Absolutely. Should Chris Rock be accountable? Absolutely, because he chose a soft target. Should Will be accountable? Absolutely, because he did something, committed a crime, which is assault, on a national stage. Now, let's unpack that. I know we wasn't going to talk about it long, but it was a slap, folks. That's simple assault. It ain't giving you no jail time. Now, if Chris say his crown fell out from the slap, he going to get a couple dollars. But the slap, people get slapped on every day.
Right.
It don't land you in jail. It lands you in front of a judge that's going to say, stay away from that person for 6 months. If y'all go around each other, then we're going to revisit this. Might get your little restraining order, but it ain't getting you no jail time. So all y'all out there talking about he should go to jail, that's not what a slap gets you.
Gotcha.
Slap don't get you jail time, okay? Let's be clear about that. But all parties was wrong, because I'm quite sure that G.I. Jane joke didn't just come at the spare moment. It was probably preempted.
Somebody.
Because just all that stuff is scripted.
It's written, scripted,
it's written
and all that.
Now,
the writers,
one last thing. In my humble opinion, which is mine, y'all want to take that Oscar back? Take that shit the hell back. That shit don't mean nothing in our community. That man's still going to be Will Smith. He still do his thing. So y'all want to take that shit back? Take that shit back. His mom is just on Channel 6 showing you he got Moon Man, this man, Grammys. He got this, he got that. Really, I know the Oscars, the epitome of acting. But listen, I'm going to make one point and I'm done. Vanessa Williams was crowned Miss America 1983, I think it was. They took the crown from her. But guess what? They still say she was Miss America, even if it was only for 2 days.
Yeah.
So, y'all can take it back, but guess what the world knows? In 2022, he was best actor.
You know what I'm saying?
They tried to take Reggie Bush's Heisman back.
Yeah, he was
guess
still,
what?
He still the best.
He still was the best that year.
You know what I'm saying?
So, take it back,
That's
whatever.
true.
Let's
true.
move on.
That's
It
true.
happened. But again, as a community, as a culture, we need to recognize trauma. We need to start dealing with it. Unpack that trauma in your households. If y'all kids ever seen something or been through something, let them heal. Teach them how to heal. Help them how to heal. Because if you don't, they're going to be angry adults. And a lot of people who deal with trauma, if you think about all these actors and actresses, when they tell their personal stories, everybody done had some type of childhood trauma. They done been touched. They done had sexual abuse. They done had mental abuse. They done come from abusive families. So they turn it into their craft.
Right.
They take all of that built up, all and turn it into that craft.
Right.
Instead of healing from the trauma, they become comedians. They become actors and actresses. They become athletes. They go, but that ain't dealing with the trauma.
Right.
You got to sometime at some point stop
And deal with it.
and deal with it. Unpack
deal
it.
with it.
So,
Hey, that says it all right there. That says it all. You know what I'm saying? You got firsthand some things that you probably didn't read in these stories and all that. That's coming out, and that's what we do here on the Birdcage Show. You know what I'm saying? Well, cuz that's episode 46 in the books. You know what I'm saying? Another one down, another one down. Before we get out of here, you got any shout outs, anything you want to send out?
no, just real quick, we are having a city-wide parade that starts at 1 o'clock, leaving from Woodrow Wilson, going down Bear Boulevard, down Kane, I believe down Hatton to the MLK Boulevard. The ultimate end is the waterfront. They're having a big celebration for all our athletes in the city, Camden High and Wilson, for their state championships, football, basketball. They're having a big celebration for our athletes. So if you are in this area, if you are a Camdenite, whether you went to Wilson or Camden High, please come out and show these kids your love and support.
Definitely.
Show these coaches your love and support. Show your community that we can get together to support our babies. So again, that's April 6th.
I believe that's Wednesday. That's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Next
Yeah,
Wednesday.
next
April
Wednesday.
6th. It's April 6th, though.
April
Yeah,
the
April
6th. The flyer go up on the
Definitely.
y'all. You guys will see
Definitely.
it. And come on out.
Definitely. Episode 46, Cousin Tracy Shoe Cam.
Yep. Again, another pair of ones. These are the OGs, Nike OG. I mean, one OGs. Like a little dusted off light blue with the gray swoosh and the royal black laces.
Yeah, looking lovely with the hoodie.
Yep.
Also, on that note, April 9th, that's what made me think the 6th, which is Saturday, April 9th. Our good friend of the show, Antoine Miller, with his AU program, Camden Elite, they're having a little barbecue, I guess you would say, you know what I'm saying, food, fun type situation. They'll be selling a couple platters, you know what I'm saying, just to help try to raise some money for the organization. And that'll be next Saturday the 9th, out there across from
Lansdowne, so
right.
I mean,
Lakeshore, right
Lakeshore,
there.
1200 block of
You know
Lakeshore.
what I'm saying? So, you know, if you're not doing anything, you know, come on out. You know what I'm saying? Support.
Support the
you know what I'm
kids. It's
saying?
about the
Support
kids. About the kids.
You know what I mean? Grab some good food. You know what I'm saying? See some people you might not have seen in a minute.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And come hang out. Cousin, thank you. As always, you know what I'm saying? I can never let that go by. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for making the Birdcage what it is, and you know, just making this thing pop.
Oh, thank you for having me
this thing
always.
pop,
Thank you.
know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it.
And you know, like I said, please, you know, continue to like, subscribe, and comment, and all that good stuff. And for those that you know are faithful and watch every week, we definitely appreciate you guys. Steve, once again, thank you for the sweatshirts hooking us up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely loving the royal blue.
It's my favorite color.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we got that merch, so just hit me up, DM me, and I'll get that out to you. You know what I mean? And I guess on that note, episode 46 in the books. And once again, I am such a wire, a.k.a. Coach Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show, and we will talk to you soon.
It was a stone groove, my man.